Hi guys, Dr. Mike Dusa here at MTFU Longevity Society. We're talking about arms and building arms that stun. And arms that stun are not necessarily gigantic 23 inches or 20 inches or even 18 inches. They can be kind of like 17 and a hair above inches like mine are. Two of the things you really want to do to build impressive arms are you want to build the long head of the bicep and the long head of the tricep. The long head of the bicep is what gives you the peak. If you look right here at my arm, okay, if you could look closely, there's a little bit of a split right here. This part of the muscle right here is the short head of the bicep, which gives the arm width. This part right here above the split is the long head, which gives you the peak. And you can see that just like that, nice peak right there, okay? It's really, really good to shape the arm when you work on the peak. Also talking about the tricep, if we look at the triceps from behind, we're talking about the long head, which is this bunch of meat right back here, if you can see that, okay? Obviously the triceps make up approximately 2/3 of the upper arm mass, and the biggest component of that arm tricep mass is the long head, so we want to concentrate on working that. I'll show you a couple of ways today to really work those two muscles. Talking about the short head, you do want to work that. What you want to do is you want to take a little bit of a wider grip to work the short head, okay? With a straight bar curl, just like so. Wider grip is short head, okay, which gives the arm the appearance of width, okay? Another thing you want to concentrate on right here is when you're curling this, a lot of people, what they do is they close their fists and they squeeze their forearms. You're taking a lot of pressure off the bicep when you do that. You want to keep your hands like hooks and almost keep them open like that. You'll notice the bicep pops a lot more. I mean, I feel it right away getting activated when I keep my hands open, just like that. Another component you want to think about, and I'll just take one dumbbell here, is supination at the top to really, really pinch the arm, bring it up and bring that pinky up. That's what activates and peaks the peak. We really, really want to concentrate on that, either arm. Okay, it's okay at the top of the movement to bring the elbow a little bit forward. Generally, throughout the movement, you want to keep the elbow pivoted at the side, but at the end, just to peak it, you bring the elbow forward just a touch. Okay, that's the short head. Talking about the long head, the long head has a tendon that goes further into the shoulder than the short head does. So it would make sense that when you're working the long head, remember the long head's the one that gives you the peak of the bicep, you want to do something like this. You want to grab a couple of dumbbells and you want to do a movement, not really one of my favorite movements, but nonetheless effective. You want to do a movement where you keep your arms extended behind you, because again, that's elongating the long head and activating more of its fibers, just like so. You bring it up and you squeeze it, you bring it up and you squeeze it and you let it down, and that's really going to build the peak right there, like so. Okay, and my movements are very slow, methodical. You'll notice I bring it up, but when I bring it down, I also squeeze the tricep, so everything is always firing. There is no relaxation. Okay, and I'm thinking about almost like I'm posing the arm when I go through this. But that's long head right there. Okay? There's some other movements you can do to hit the long head. We'll go over those some other time, but I do want to talk about, for a moment, the long head of the tricep. And something people have been doing wrong, myself included, for many years. You may know these exercises as easy bar extensions or skull crushers. Come on over here. I think I've gone over this before, but again, when working the long head of the tricep for mass on the arm, too many times you'll see people just get on this bench a little better, a little short-handed here. Okay. Well, you'll see plenty of people bring it down like so, with the arms completely, I mean, my arms are perpendicular to the floor. At this point right here, you have no resistance on the triceps. So again, you're not really getting the full effect from this. The best way I learned is to keep your arms out here on an angle and bring the bar all the way to the back of the head to facilitate that stretch. You really want to stretch the long head and bring it out like so. So you're talking here versus here. Just do that, you can feel all the resistance on the long head of the tricep. You lock it, lock it. And sometimes at the bottom, I'll even give it a little bit of a stretch, like so. And boy, let me tell you, it makes a big difference as opposed to keeping the arm perpendicular. Again, in getting that peak, even more so, looking at the tricep right here, okay? You see the meat of the tricep. The area right to the side of the tricep right here is the brachialis muscle. Building the brachialis muscle, okay, not the bicep, not the tricep, but the brachialis, will actually lend increased height to your bicep, which is what you want. You want those peaks to the bicep. Great way to do that. And you know this is one of my favorites, learned from Evan Centopani, is the plate curl. Am I good with the light right here? Okay? So again, we're focusing, everything's fixed. You bring it up, bring it down. Bring it up, bring it down. It's a little light for me at this point. But again, we're thinking about building that muscle underneath that peak to build those arms, that stun. And boy, does that feel good. I mean, just from the few sets I just did, I've got a tremendous pump. You know, and really remember, like I've always said, you're squeezing at the top, but you're also hammering down the triceps at the bottom. Okay? Everything is active at all times. Everything's important. And that I think is partially how you build arms that stun. If you found that helpful, if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or considerations, please leave them below. I'll get back to you. Let me know what you want to see in here. We're all learning together at all times. I have the opportunity to learn from the best in the world, and nothing makes me happier than sharing that information with you. Dr. Mike Dusa, MTFU Longevity Society, and I'll see you again soon.